Hello, mates. Welcome to another episode of Honestly Lucid with Lola. And we have our friend Clear Lanes.
What's up? What's up? Thank y'all for having me.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, coming from Dallas, Fort Worth, Metroplex, I'm a music artist. I'm an actor. I'm a songwriter. I also have my own podcast as well, Be In Your Lane Podcast. Y'all check us out. Be In Your Lane TV on YouTube. So, yeah, it's kind of a few things that I'm into right now.
When did you start the podcast?
We started the podcast because me and a good friend of mine, we started, I want to say, about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of been off and on because we're on our own separate paths. Like, I'm obviously I'm in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
He's a basketball player. So, you know, right now we're just kind of taking a little hiatus,
That's
but we're getting back
different.
into it.
I like the title, though. Stay in your lane.
I know.
Stay in your lane, be in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, okay, so I met you last year, and you mentioned, you told me how you got your name, but I want you to tell the story again.
Yes.
Because I never forgot the story, and it was very different.
Yeah, so Clear Lanes, it's two sides to it. Actually, the biblical side is like, because I'm a man of faith, right? So the biblical side is, you remember in the Bible how God departed the Red Sea for Moses and the people, right? So for me, that's essentially like God is clearing a lane for me in this industry and whatever he's called me to do. And on the flip side, it's just simply, I got a clear lane. Like, I'm staying in my own lane. I'm not trying to be this person or that person. I'm not trying to follow this trend, ride this wave. It's like, I'm just going to be me.
Everyone
need
need
it.
to stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, be
For
your lane,
real.
clear lanes, man. So, yeah, that's what we on.
Yes, I remember that.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Okay,
course.
so I see that you've recently got into acting. Tell
Yes.
us about that, because what I've been seeing so far, it's
He's badass. Y'all are
Yes.
going to see him on movies soon.
for real.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead and speak that into existence.
real.
Yeah, go ahead and manifest that.
Your acting is good.
Thank you. Not for real. Appreciate it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Your acting is great. Tell us.
Tell us
You want to
about
do a
it.
skit? You want to do a skit for us?
Reenactment real quick.
I can't do it right now. But the acting, I just got into it last quarter of last year. And I just felt it. You know when you just got a gut feeling, like you just know you're supposed to do something, and that's kind of how that was. You know, I didn't have no like prophetic dream or anything big like that. It was just deep down in my soul. I just knew like God was telling me to do this and start working on these things, because I believe that God has given us, you know, multiple talents. It's not just one thing. We kind of all just stick to one thing, which is cool and all, but like, nah, you got to do more. There's so much more. So the acting, I was just like, man, I'm already doing the music. I'm already used to being in front of people, being on stage, not being shy, being vulnerable, exposing myself. So the acting, I see, was like, it's just a different lane. That's all it is. Just a different lane, a different title. And I just hopped straight into it, and I've been enjoying it ever since.
What's your favorite role that you've played so far?
Gosh, I feel like it's too early to even say right now. I will say I tend to lean more on comedy. If I had to pick something, I would say comedy, yeah. Because I feel like just the energy that I bring on set, I believe like that's kind of my niche a little bit. That's kind of more in my lane. But I love the challenge of being vulnerable, being somebody that I'm completely not in person. So, because I'm naturally kind of more humorous in person anyway. So
I remember when we last spoke, you actually said that you're more of an introvert. Like, you're usually to yourself.
yeah, so it's funny. Growing up, yes, I was. But I feel like being that I'm a music artist and been doing this for a few years now, it's brought me out of my shell.
Okay.
I've become more extroverted. Yeah, Ricky is introverted, but once it's showtime, once it's time to network and be in front of the people, I feel like I have a switch, because I have to. You ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna go far if you're just, you know, in the corner to yourself, not talking to anybody.
That's me.
So
Sometimes.
unless you just got a plug that, you know, nobody
Yeah.
knows about, right? So I would say yes, it grew me out of that shell for sure.
Did it take some time for you to grow out of that shell?
I feel like as you continue to live, you just start becoming more comfortable in your own skin. That's just that's really what it comes down to. Just you, just accepting you for you, loving yourself, and just not caring what people think.
Self-love.
You know?
I hope y'all are taking notes.
For real, like it's a real
Love
thing.
yourself.
You just can't let people's opinions stop you, because it's really not you. that's in front of you is you worrying about what everybody else thinks, how I look. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing and stuff like that? And once I got past that, and it's still an ongoing thing. It never stops really. I feel, because we all battle with the insecurities, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just pushing along.
That's what's up.
So, like, speaking of insecurities, I remember there was a time that I was very insecure, but now I feel like the insecurities that I had back then versus now, I'm more of like insecure about, okay, what will my family think? What will they say? Am I too wild? Do I come off as this person or that person? And that's something that I struggle with every day today.
I try to remind her, like, I get it. Our family is our family, but, like, in order for her to stay true to herself and live in her own truth, she has to do just that and not care too much about what our family thinks.
Yeah, and I'll post, like, about anxiety or just personal things. It's not me. Like, I get a lot, okay, why are you telling your business? I'm not telling my business. I'm sharing what I'm going through or what I've went through, because I know that there are more people like that that are going through it.
You're sharing your testimony.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
so they don't see it like that. And so some of our family, they have stopped watching our podcast.
They're very old school, like very old school, traditional, and and like we're just the complete opposite from our family.
I admire the fact that you're able to share your testimony and be vulnerable, because I feel like that's something I'm still working on, like to be able to just tell my story. Yeah, because
I can tell a story with like no problem.
Well, I mean, when I say for me, it's like me talking about my personal life. Like Clear Lanes is, that's all day, but Ricky, can Ricky tell his story?
Is that your real name?
And that's my real name, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Ricky.
Yes. I thought whenever you mentioned Ricky earlier, I thought that was
who
your
is that?
partner's name.
No, that's my real name. So it's like
basketball player.
Yeah, and I feel like, but for you to be able to do that, I commend you, because like a lot of people are going to be able to relate to you and understand your story, and they're just going to vibe with you on such a deeper level. So that's something it's still a challenge for me. So hopefully I can get to that point.
It's good and bad, because I mean, it's good because people they can relate to you, and then there's people that look at it as a weakness and will take advantage of you.
But that's whenever you know yourself and you can, you can read people, so you filter out who's actually going to be there for you.
Very aware.
Yes. So I feel like that should never stop someone from sharing. I actually spoke to one of my coworkers about this. I feel like you should never stop sharing despite that person's intentions. Just be smart if they ever try to do anything. But never stop telling your story.
So how do you get over those challenges, those day-to-day challenges that we all face sometimes? Like with your family or just people's opinions? Like,
I just continue to be myself, but then there's always a sorry behind it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for what I said, but I'm sorry for how I said it. And I always put it out there that like my intentions are never to hurt your feelings. If, I offended you in some way, or, I mean, I don't know. It's always an apology behind it. And I'm tired of apologizing.
I was going to say, you think like it's a good thing, or is that something you want to break out of?
I want to break out of apologizing. I feel like it's actually a privilege to get to know the real me. Because what everyone sees my Instagram, and lots of people have told me like, oh, I thought you were this bad bee that, had it together, or you're wild. And so, but if you get to know me, I'm a softie. Like, I'm not uppity. I don't act like that with people.
Isn't it crazy how like with social media we can just play this person and then like that may not totally be who we are off screen? You get me?
So I'm starting to post more videos of like little clips of like voice audios. But if you really know me, you would know that in those videos, even though I'm acting or I may seem this way, those are true. Those are very true. I don't know if you've seen some of them. I posted one today.
I see a lot of your artist side, which I think is super dope. Keep going.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure.
Hell yeah.
But back to you.
Let's do it.
I want a shirt.
You want a shirt of
like that?
This is just a, your little local hip hop store.
I thought.
Yeah.
I thought
You
it
thought
was
this
your
was
shirt.
mine?
Yes.
Nah, it's not.
Do you have merch or anything?
I'm still working on that. I ain't gonna lie. That's one area that I've slacked at. I've built the music, created the catalog, been out here, but merch, I just haven't dove into it. And that's probably me just feeling like, oh, I don't have a fan base or a big fan base. Like, who's gonna buy it type stuff, right?
We will buy it.
We sure would.
And it's just, I appreciate that. And I think it's just me getting out of that because that's not the mindset I'm supposed to have. So, yeah. But it's coming.
We do know this woman. If you ever need merch, Swag Without a Tag on Instagram.
Swag Without a Tag.
She makes everything.
Literally everything.
Yes.
Yeah, send me her information. I'll check it out.
I will definitely send it to you.
For sure. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so I have a question. I want to talk about the dating life. Okay. What is your
That's good. Good question.
Viewpoint on that?
Just wait a minute. Me personally, like what I'm going through, or just dating the relationships in general.
In general,
society, modern.
Yes, in general.
Gosh, it's so much. Where do we start? It's so broad. I feel there's so many directions we can go.
Let's say you're out. You find a young woman very attractive. Do you approach her? Like, how do you meet women?
That's a good question. I feel like back in the day, men naturally, us being the hunters, they say, right? You would approach the woman no problem, right? But I feel like now in today's times, most men are like second guessing because a lot of modern women are just putting these dudes on blast. Especially with social media, like nobody wants to be the latest meme or go viral for being a creep, right?
That's
true. It's
all about the approach.
Yes.
To be completely honest, and the environment that you're in.
I think it depends too. Is the guy attractive? Because if the guy is attractive, I don't think it really matters how he approaches. If the girl's attracted to him.
So I've heard that before, and I feel like. For me personally, I don't go based off looks. Obviously, if you see a good-looking person, they're good-looking. But I'm at a point where if I can mentally connect with you, if we could talk about therapy, if we could talk about traumas, like that kind of stuff, we're good. But if it's just off physical stuff, and if they're funny, you gotta be funny.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely have a sense of humor.
I agree with everything, but looks do matter to me.
Come on now,
we gotta look good together.
You gotta be attracted to one another.
And then I'll bring you around my family. I don't want my family roasting you or talking about, oh, he got big ass ears. And,
Like, and here's another, like, okay, have you guys seen what's going on, like, in the gym, like the toxic gym culture? You guys seen all that? Like, girls posting videos basically victimizing themselves.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that on TikTok.
It's like,
kind
are
of
you
fucked up.
serious? Like,
Wait, tell me about that.
They'll just assume or like they'll record guys at the gym or make it seem like that person is bothering them and approaching them.
Okay.
And just making it seem like he said, like they're the victim.
She just want to be seen on camera.
It's all for likes and validation.
Yeah.
It's sad to me. It's low key kind of disgusting when you think about it. Like for you to put a person on blast, like because he just glared at you, like a quick glance, like, are you serious? So I think that's totally wrong, and definitely look down upon it.
I am guilty of putting guys on blast, but it's because they
on social media.
Yes, they say dumb things.
They do.
So like, okay, in what way? Like in the gym way, or just out in public?
No, on social media, they'll DM me and be like, "Damn, mommy, you fine as fuck." Hold up, that's not attractive. I know I'm fine, but let me
compliment my art, compliment my poetry.
Yeah, and describe me in another word other than fine, because it's very, very common.
Okay, well that's different.
Those are the type of DMs that I get that make me want to put them on blast.
Yeah, and I understand that for sure. And don't get me wrong, like there's girls out there that are being harassed. Like I don't want to act like that's not real. Like that's a real thing. Girls out here getting harassed, dudes out here just acting crazy, approaching in any old kind of way. But then again, there are good men out there who really don't have any bad intent. Like they're genuinely just trying to be a decent human being, and you're out here putting them on blast. And when you're wearing basically half naked clothes. Like, it's like, what do you expect? Of course somebody's going to glance at you.
So
like,
go ahead.
I had a friend who actually asked me what was the difference gym-wise between a stare and a glance. And he did both examples, you know. He was just like, oh, I was like, okay, that's just a glance. But if you're staring at someone, that's different. But I get what you mean, because I know how we dress at the gym. But again, we are dressing for ourselves. But it's a difference with the glancing and the staring.
Do you feel like women are, and it's just a question, do you feel like women are sexualizing themselves and then getting mad when we say that y'all are sexualizing yourselves?
At times.
I can see, I can see how that would be. Yes.
I don't feel like it's all women.
So I guess it all comes down to, it's like, what do y'all want? Do y'all want the attention?
We never want the attention, but it depends on the individual.
Right.
Like,
and I'm speaking in masses. I'm not speaking on individuals. Like, 'cause obviously every person is different. We're just speaking in numbers.
So, okay, this is my thing. This is how I look at it.
Yeah.
We are all adults. Of course, we're going to be attracted to each other.
Right.
We don't need to make it easy as like, okay, when a guy or a girl is making themselves seem thirsty, like throwing themselves at you, I feel like, I mean, at least pretend to be a gentleman.
Right.
I mean, if you're trying to get some booty or something, but we know we look good. We know.
Come on now.
It's not all the time that we're posting for this. It's just we feel very confident and love ourselves that much to not be embarrassed or ashamed or not have to tone ourselves down to post something. So if you see it, it depends how the man himself sees it. If you see it as me being easy or me being okay,
then that's a personal problem.
That's just her. Have a different approach.
So let me ask you this: like, when you post that, or if before you post that, do you expect that reaction from a man? Like, do you know, okay, I'm probably going to get that reaction that I don't want, but this is really just me just being confident in myself?
No, I never expected, because it's like, I don't post to be thirsty. I don't post. This is literally just me. I am the goofy type. I am not. If I try to even act sexy, it is failure.
Yeah.
I fail at it. But me being just me, like, I feel like I look sexy, me just being me. But if I try to, like, do something seductive, no, it's not going to work.
And I totally respect that, and you being honest. But like I said, let's not act like we know that there are women out there who do be setting up thirst traps.
I know.
Like,
for sure.
And that's
100%.
100%. For sure, man. So, and that's all I'm pointing out. That's all. I know there are women out there who have good intentions on their posts and just trying to motivate, inspire, and just show, it's okay. It's okay to show yourself off. Like, I'm not saying that, but I just feel like sometimes it does come with repercussions.
I have a question.
Like. What's up?
So let's say you do approach a girl who she's not trying to be seductive online, but it maybe comes off as that. But once you get to know the real her, you know that she's not doing it for this. Do you expect her to stop doing all those things later on once the feelings hit? Or do you allow her to be herself? Because you know what type of person she is, because she let you in.
I feel like you just have to know what you want as a man and what you're looking for in a woman. What do you value? Do you want a woman who carries herself in a provocative way, who sexualizes herself? Are you cool with that and understanding, like, there are going to be other thirsty men out there, trying to get at your girl? Or do you want a woman who's modest, reserved, they say traditional? So it really just comes down to what you want, I feel like, as a man. Excuse me. Yeah, it just really just comes down to what you want, I feel. Would I try to change her? No, because if I didn't want her in the beginning that way, then I'm not going to. You get what I'm saying?
Are y'all hearing this?
Like,
Are y'all hearing this?
Listening.
Like, if that's
Take
what she
notes,
is, that's what
please.
she is. Like, I'm not going to try to change her,
You would just try to elevate her. I mean, if she because I like to show skin. And it took me a long time to feel how I feel in my own skin. And I feel like, I don't have much. I can get away with it. So if you have, if someone has a problem with it, then maybe elevate me. Yeah. I still wear the same clothes, but more classier. And me showing skin,
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Do you feel like, because I feel like there's such a separation right now with men and women. Would y'all agree, especially with modern women? Maybe not you know, the older generation, right? But would y'all agree, like, because there's a lot of single people out there.
There's a divide.
There's
sure.
a divide, right? Do you think that we're better off in this day and age? Are we better off with each other or without each other?
I feel like we need to be better without each other, because when someone comes into your life, they shouldn't be taking anything away from you. They should be adding to you.
Yeah,
adding, for sure. They should be able to bless you.
If you feel like you need this person to feel this way or need that in your life to become this,
it's no bueno.
No, it's not. It's not gonna work.
And I feel like a lot of people aren't working on healing themselves. They're just trying to work on themselves as individuals. So it's kind of hard to find that right person if not everyone is just willing to do the work. Go to therapy. I really feel like everyone needs therapy or some kind of mentor or something to elevate themselves in life.
Definitely a mentor.
Yes, because you can't stay the same no matter what.
Understand? No, it's a good response.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I saw this. I saw someone post this a long time ago. They said, you don't have to change who you are, but elevate. You can still be yourself. Just be.
Word of the day: elevate.
Yeah.
You can't stay the same. You gotta grow. You can't stay the same. You gotta find your purpose in life. That's why I'm very big on purpose. It may not look how you want it to look today, but you can't focus on that. You just gotta stay on the pedal. Just keep grinding, keep pushing forward, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen, man. It works every time. So, but y'all mind if we switch topics?
Go ahead.
I have a question. So, new year, right? 2023. What are the plans for you guys this year? What are you guys' goals? What do you guys want to do this year?
I'll tell you what I'm currently working on. Everyone out there listening. So I am currently competing to be the next cover girl for Inc. magazine of 2023.
Vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Go
Follow
vote.
me on Instagram, link in bio, please. There's 9 rounds. Voting will end April 16th. So that's my main thing right now that I'm focused on, because I want to help people with my brand as well that I'm working on, geared towards sad bad bitches, because I feel like people have that misconception that good-looking people can't be sad or depressed or suicidal or bipolar, ADHD.
We be crying.
We've all the fucking time.
Good-looking people get it the worst, I feel, or like.
Yeah, because I feel like let's say I start dating this guy. He can look sexy as hell, attractive, whatever. Everything seems right about him. But the moment he starts crying, and this is with women too, people see it as a weakness. And they don't try to understand why that person is feeling the way they do.
Or they feel like, what do you have to be sad about? Like, if looks is everything when it's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely feel like that is false for sure. So what are your goals? I'm just curious. Yeah, what are your goals for this year?
Well, right now I'm going through things. So
yeah. Do you want to say what it is or not yet? Or
not yet. Okay. But I do have a lot of mental healing to do. A lot. So I'm just waiting for this insurance to kick in at this job so I can start going to therapy for it. I haven't started yet because I've been procrastinating on these paintings, but I have like these paintings coming out soon, and it's like full on, it's me in the paintings, and it's it is very sad.
The idea is very dope.
Past traumas, past experiences, but all in a painting. So I'm taking my time with that because these are very original and you can't buy them anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that everything is on point, with that going on.
That's dope.
I'm trying to get back in the gym.
Okay.
Because I need to work on my health more too. And I will also be a body paint model in a couple weeks. I forgot what I just got offered it today, and then there's one event in March too. So
February
it's gonna be
25th.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be focusing more on like the art side of me instead of the barbering side. Yes. Okay. And I never thought that would happen ever. But I'm getting better at my art, and I let out so many emotions whenever I paint. And so, yeah. But my number one goal is to just heal mentally. Okay. So, however long that takes, I'm just ready for it.
Energy your way.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. It's nothing sad.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's great.
What are your goals?
Yes.
My goals for this year are definitely to elevate. Obviously, I feel like that's something we all say, right? Continue just to stay on my health, right? I love going to the gym, working out, staying consistent. So one of the things I switched up, I used to go to the gym in the evenings, right? But I was like, nah, this year I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go in the mornings. I'm gonna go early. I'm like really challenge myself. Get up at 4.
That is a challenge.
But it's such a, you know what though?
It's a good start to your day.
It's a great start to your day. Oh my gosh, like to be able just to go in and at 4 a.m. You know nobody's up. The air's fresh. It's clean. It's quiet. And you just go in and get your work, and you're more locked in because you're just now waking up. So I've really enjoyed the morning workouts, and again, just to be able to knock that out, and now you got the rest of your day, and your days are longer because I'm sure we all experience like, man, days just be going by fast. Like, it's like crazy. So me getting up those extra hours earlier than normal have really, I feel, helped me and benefited me for sure. So doing that, continuing to eat right. Obviously, you know, we got the cheat days and stuff like that, but just trying to eliminate that as much as I can.
It's cheat day every day for me.
It's cheat day every day?
Yeah, that's why I said I need to focus on my health.
Let me tell y'all, man, get on, especially as you get older. Like, you may get away with it as a teenager, as a child, but, like, get on your fruits, get on your vegetables.
Health is wealth.
Get on your green shakes because, like, I've noticed, you ever notice, like, when you were younger, you could eat anything.
Literally.
You could eat anything and your metabolism would just burn it off, right? But as you get older, you start feeling every time you eat bad, you feel it. Every time you eat good, you feel it. And so for me, it's just really just being dedicated to eating clean. I try to do it like 80-20 at least. Give yourself a cheat day. But yeah, that, and then just from a music side, continuing to elevate in that. My big thing this year is exposure. I want to get out the city and just really put myself out there, really just take a leap of faith. That's like my thing. I really just want to take a leap of faith and just jump and just not be scared. It's like, I've been doing this thing. You just go for it. You know, what I got to lose, just go for it.
Are you still going to be doing open mics or?
What's the next steps?
No, good question. I'm not going to say no. I don't know right now. I don't know because I could very well, like, if I'm preparing for something, if I'm preparing for something big, like a showcase, or if I'm going out of town or whatever, I feel open mic is beneficial because I can go. It's like, okay, I can go and rehearse. Yeah. Just kind of, you know, if I want to test out a new song or something like that. So I can't say I'm just going to completely eliminate open mic, but like, because last year it was all about open mic and just getting out here, but now it's like, okay, I'm trying to think past that. Yeah.
Do you know your next step, or like what is the next step to go after open mic?
Yeah, it's really, as an artist, I mean, building a fan base, building a fan base, and then getting out. I feel like it's so important to get outside the city, and just getting out of your comfort zone. Because I'll be honest, people outside of your city, they tend to appreciate you more than people inside your city. It's sad, but like when you go to, I don't know, just say Oklahoma or Louisiana or California, and you say, yo, I'm from here, and of course you got to be dope, don't get me wrong, but they just seem to embrace you more. It's crazy. I don't know if maybe it's just because they take you more serious because you're traveling and doing this versus just being that local hip-hop artist.
So I get a lot of compliments whenever it just depends the way I have my hair or the way I'm dressed. People think that I'm from New York.
Okay.
I don't know why. And I just be like, no, I'm not from there. You know, I'm from Louisiana. And then they're shocked to hear that because then they say, oh, you don't look like you're from Louisiana. But I feel,
I can see that.
I don't know. But
yeah, and I could see. So I was planning to move to Colorado this year, and she is.
What part?
Colorado.
Denver?
Yeah, it was
between cities.
Yeah.
So you were about to make that move this year?
Yeah, after my daughter finishes her school year, but I changed my mind. But she's still gonna go. And when people ask us why, we're moving, of course the people who didn't support us, they didn't understand. But what you just said, that you get that extra support whenever you're outside of your city, we wanted to move somewhere where we would have no attachments to anyone and no connections. We wanted to start from scratch in Colorado.
That's bold and it's dope, and you're taking a leap of faith, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. So yeah. So are you gonna how much longer are you gonna stay in Dallas Fort Worth? Or
I don't know if she's ever leaving
I
Texas.
plan on leaving. I got so much going on right now that I love my sister to death, but I feel like no. I feel like, because when people we come as a package, people see us together, and her being in Colorado and me being in my own space,
it'll help us be our own individual selves.
Yes. And all this healing that I have to do, I like to heal in my own space with no one around. Because if someone is around, it's not that I can't fully heal, but it's
not in your own way.
Yes. And then I don't want to, if I want to cry, I don't need you to ask me, oh, what's wrong? Like, I'm just crying. I'm just letting it out. Like, I don't want any sympathy while I heal.
I love how women can just be vulnerable and just like, and not be judged, because it's like, oh, like, you know.
I don't care. Whereas I used to care, but I don't care.
Guys, you have to really, I feel like you have to just carry around this, what's the word? Like, just this
macho man
strength. Yeah.
We like vulnerable men.
We do.
We appreciate them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always try to like make a safe space for guys whenever I talk to them, friends or if I'm dating them.
That's
just
how
because
you build a mental connection.
Yes.
An emotional
so you would be
connection.
cool with your, like, okay, at some point, I feel like there is a ceiling to it though. At what point do you feel like it would be too much? Like, I know you don't want to see your man crying all day.
When
like,
I could tell that he's doing it,
when I could provider.
Yeah, when I could tell whenever he's doing it all the time for attention. Like, I'm going to know you long enough to know that you want me to feel sorry for you right now. But what I'm going to do is talk my shit so you can pick yourself up, because I can't be there all the time to pick you up.
Would you think lesser of him in any way?
No.
Really?
We actually respect them more if they show emotion.
Yes. But like, all this front and pretending and, oh, I don't cry. You can miss me with that, because you do cry. You just don't.
In front of.
What's the quote that one guy said at the open mic?
Oh, yes. He said,
listen here, dudes.
He said, little boys who don't cry end up drowning as men. I don't know if I said it right, but it's somewhere along the lines. Little boys who don't cry grow up, they end up drowning.
Wow. Yeah, that's a new perspective. But it makes sense though.
So if I ever have a son, I'm going to let my son be a punk, cry, but I'm going to lift him up. You could be a punk for 5-10 minutes, an hour, however much longer you need. But I'm not going to knock him down for crying. And I'm never going to tell him men don't cry.
Yeah.
Because men do cry.
For sure.
And they should. They really should.
You definitely got to. I mean, because like if you try to bottle that thing in for years and years and just kind of suppress, it's going to eat you up.
It's going to eat you up, and then you're going to bring that into whoever you meet.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, you got it, and then it's part of the healing process. It's part of the healing process. So yeah.
And a big part of healing is self-awareness.
You definitely need more space for that. I feel, because that's when, if they don't, that's when they do something crazy. That's why the suicide rate is so high. And I'm gonna go to a substance and abuse it. Whatever cope that I can use to suppress what I'm feeling.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be doing that with weed.
That's
not to suppress
usually
it,
the popular choice.
But it's like whenever I do smoke, I feel like I come to my senses whenever I smoke. And then as I'm coming down from my high, I try to carry that same mindset, because I've done it before. Yeah. Whenever I was healing, I was going through a breakup like 2 years ago, and that's what I did. I was this angry, bitter person, sober. But then I was this vulnerable, sweet person whenever I was high. And so whenever I was high, I would try to take that mindset with me as I'm coming down from my high. And then I noticed that I was just this sweet person. She would even tell me, "You're so sweet. You used to be a bitch." And
yeah. Well, growing up with her, yes. But no, she was so calm and chill and just like this whole different
I was
person.
unbothered.
So what do y'all think about people using drugs as a way to escape per se? Do you feel like it's healthy, unhealthy? Because you just said
It's very unhealthy.
It depends how they use it and how often and their process.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you easily see someone going down the wrong path.
Yes.
Because it's all available. I mean, we see people all the time that become alcoholics, you know, substance abusers, whatever. And I understand, you know, we're all hurting to some form, to some degree, right? To each his own. Everybody's dealing with something differently. But I feel like there's another way. There's another way,
yeah,
for sure. Whether that's, you know, finding your true self, whether that's God, I don't know, but that's something that you have to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
So I personally used to abuse alcohol.
Yeah.
And same with weed. With alcohol, the thing that stopped me, luckily, was I got a DWI when I was 22. Mm-hmm. So after that DWI, I felt like that was a much needed lesson for me to just get my shit together, basically.
Then she started getting in the gym.
Oh, yeah. That's how I got into fitness. Okay. Because I needed some kind of outlet. And obviously alcohol would only make it worse. Because back then, whenever I would drink, I was a crier. I was not a person you wanted to be around when I was drunk at all. But once that happened, I started working out, started getting into fitness. That helped. That was before therapy. I feel like therapy definitely helped a lot. And just really facing my traumas. Because then I was more self-aware and I was like, okay, let's not do this to cope. Let's work on journaling. Let's work on affirmations. Let's work on getting to know Leah and love Leah. And I actually found out I could do poetry like 2 years ago because I was journaling, and then I just started rhyming and I was like, oh shit, I could rhyme. Yeah. So poetry has actually been the number one thing that has helped me in my healing journey.
That's beautiful.
100%.
It's funny, like, now that we're on this conversation, like on this topic, excuse me, I experienced that same thing last year, getting into writing, reading, meditating, or just giving myself quiet time just to block out everything and just focus on me. And I just feel like it's just really eliminated so much stress and anxiety. It's really blessed me. And I feel like if you can start your day off doing something like that, like a morning routine, you know, praying, meditating, you know, listening to some motivational audio, reading books. If you can do all that, I feel like if you can be consistent and do that, because that's what like successful people do. If you really like dig into their stories, that's what successful people do. Millionaires, billionaires, like people of power, like they do these things that, you know, your regular day-to-day citizen isn't doing. So if they're doing it, there's a reason for it. I got to do that as well. It's like, okay, what are they doing? I want to follow them because, you know, they're where we want to be, right? So, you know, those are some things that I just, you know, some jewels I just gave to y'all, like, really, really consider and apply to your life.
I'm a huge
It'll bless
prayer.
You. Yeah. So let's talk about God. I mean, like, since we're talking about prayer, like, what do you think about God and faith and everything? Like, what do you guys' beliefs? We've had our side conversations
We're
off
totally
camera.
different.
Yeah.
So I was raised in a Catholic home. Yeah. My dad's side of the family is Catholic. Our mom's side is Christian. I was baptized Pentecostal. Then I got baptized Christian. But now as an adult, I don't claim a religion. I feel like I have my own relationship with God.
Okay. You never. I thought you was claiming Christianity.
So that was my mistake. I
never did.
I misspoke for her.
Oh,
whenever we had our side conversation, and then we talked about the different energies.
Yeah. So what is it now? Like, you just believe like in a higher power? Or?
I believe in a higher power, but however, I do still pray because there were times where I could have been killed or just something, and I prayed, and I feel like that was God who saved me.
You just knew. Yeah, it was.
And then sometimes when I pray for signs, like if I'm praying about something in particular, like, Lord, please, I thank him before asking.
That's good.
I thank him for everything. And then I ask him. I don't ask him to exactly what I want because I know I have to do my part. But however, I always ask for the strength to do all these things. Because if I don't have strength, then I'm not going to do it. I pray for patience. I pray for, finances. And as long as I'm doing my part, he does his part. And it happens. And she is totally different, but she will come to me. Lanicia, can you say a prayer for me or say this?
I'm like, can you hit up God real quick, please?
Yes. Wow. And I hit up God.
But so, and I'll explain why I have my differences with God and Christianity and stuff. But I do believe in a higher power. I believe in the universe. Same thing she said whenever she asked God questions to help her finances, all that stuff. Same with the universe, except I would just do my part. The reason why I don't really believe, I don't want to say I don't believe in God because there's a God in every single religion. But Christianity specifically is just based off what I've experienced growing up. People kind of shoving religion down another person's throat instead of just letting them find their own way. Mm-hmm. But I know we spoke on it.
Yeah, we had a deep conversation
about
that.
I believe we have God in us. So
yeah,
people just don't know how to find that, or they don't take the time to find that. Mm-hmm. I remember Kanye West. It was one of his old albums. I'm a fan of his, even though he's crazy. So in one of his songs, he starts off, he says, "I am a God." And I would get so offended. I'm like, how could he say that? But then later on, years later, I finally get it. Mm-hmm. It's the God in us. Mm-hmm. There's not one God, I don't believe.
We are all one.
Do y'all believe like there's a spiritual realm? Like right now we are placed in a world that we are in a world that we cannot see. There is a world that we cannot see right now, a spiritual realm full of angels and demons.
I feel like it's happening fighting, right now, but we can't
protecting
see
us on our behalf right now, either trying to, because people die every day. You know, the beautiful thing about life is that we're going to get our answer when we die, right? We're going to get our answer. We're going to know, okay, was this real or not? Was this Jesus thing real or not? Was this God thing real? Or we just here off of science, and their beliefs. So whatever it is, we're going to get our answer. And I think it's a beautiful thing, or it could be a horrible thing if you chose wrong. So, true. Yeah. So, but no, I think that's great that you pray. I think prayer is so powerful. I believe prayer moves mountains in people's lives. I believe prayer protects you. You know, we ask, man, why they, pass away so young, or this, that, and the third, and or why some person is like, man, I dodged death. Like I dodged it, and it's probably usually because grandma was praying for you. That's why. Mm-hmm. She was praying for you when you was out there, acting a fool out here in these streets. And because you always got your praying grandma, and like people, I don't want to say devalue it, but I don't think they really understand just how impactful that is. Like for somebody praying for you, who knows the truth. So
it's just as impactful when people are praying for your downfall.
Yeah, I mean, you do got the enemy too. I mean,
yes.
I believe, I don't know if you guys believe in the devil. Do y'all believe that there is a power of darkness that, because like let's be real, I don't feel like we can create that much evil and demonic energy on our own. I feel like we're grabbing that from something.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we can't create that on our own. We would explode. Mm-hmm. Like there's no way we can create this much hatred and evil and wickedness that we see in the world. That comes from a source. We're grabbing that from something. Mm-hmm. It's two ways. It's either good or bad. Either you're good, either you walking in light, or you walking in darkness. There's no in between. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. That's just what I believe. Obviously, everybody has the right to their own opinion, but that's just how I've come to learn and see things in this world.
I don't believe in the devil.
You don't believe that the devil exists?
Yeah.
So you don't. That means if you don't believe in the devil, that means you don't believe in a heaven or hell, or.
I just feel like like when after we pass away, I just feel like our spirits are floating, and they're floating to where they're meant to go.
Do you believe in reincarnation? Like
that's a long ass word.
When you come back as something else, someone else, kind of like, okay, spiritual wise, whenever we're on this, we chose this life, right? Our spirit chose this life before we started. We have our soul contract. We came here to learn whatever we needed to learn, fulfill our purpose, everything, and then we die. Do you feel that, because people talk about past lives all the time, that they've lived different lives, do you feel like, do you believe in that basically? That you would go into another life or another universe and you're a completely different person experiencing a different lesson and life purpose?
I don't know. Like, I honestly feel like whenever we pass away, that our spirits are just floating.
Can I say, I must say, like, there are a lot of, I don't know if you guys really like are into like testimonies and listen to people, but you know, there are a lot of life after death testimonies. People who passed, like they were clinically dead, their soul left their body, they met something or saw somebody, they had an experience in the afterlife, in the afterworld, and then they came back to life and they were able to share their testimony. Like there's millions of videos. And one thing I say, they're all pretty consistent on them seeing this white light. Like, and when they die, like, it's more of a, you're returning, you know? Because, like, obviously we're here temporarily on this planet, but, like, it's like when they passed, they always say it was like they were returning, like they were going home. Like, that was a feeling that they had. So I thought that was very interesting. So I say all that to say I believe and know that there is something beyond this. I don't think this is the end for sure. This life, it goes by too fast for it to just be it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm not there yet. I'm still learning.
Yeah, and we all are. We all are. I don't have all the answers. I will say with, you know, where time is going, where the world is today and just everything going on, a lot of stuff in that Bible, man, I'm telling you, like, it's really lining up. Like, the Bible really is playing itself out. If you know the Bible, understand the Bible, and you read Revelations, and you take out the events and you start really dissecting it, you start to see like it's really, the Bible is like playing itself out in today's time. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. Yeah, it's low-key scary too, because on how that story ends, if that's where we're headed,
in flames or fire or something to do with fire, or how
it
ends?
Yes, essentially God, you know, just the world coming to an end. Christ coming down and grabbing his people. And
have you seen that movie Left Behind? That's exactly what happened in that movie.
No, I haven't.
You should see it. The world is ending, and God, he's basically taking all the people who believes in God and who believes in heaven, who prays. He's taking all those people off of earth and just leaving the bad people non-believers, to on earth.
Yeah. I mean, because here's my thing. I feel like, and again, to each his own, but I believe that we all have to pay for our sins in some way. Like we all got to pay for our sins, and for me, that's why I do believe in Jesus Christ, because I do believe He covered, you know, our sins if you choose to believe in Him. But if you don't, then it's like, okay, now you're being judged off of you and what you did. Now you don't have that lawyer, you don't have that mediator, that person representing you. And like I said, I do believe like we all got to pay for our sins. I don't think that you can just live this life and be evil, commit murder, rape, and just die peacefully. That just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like there is a consequence for that type of stuff and that type of behavior.
Do you believe that whenever they pray and they ask God to forgive them for their sins, and they go out sinning on purpose, knowing that God is going to forgive them, do you think that they are really being forgiven?
No, and that's a great point. Because you can't. Now, when you do something like that, you're mocking God. You're doing what they call willful sin. That's willful sin, and that's a sin against God. Because now it's as if the Bible says it's as if you are putting Christ on the cross again, over and over and over again. When you continuously God, I repent, I'm sorry, and then go do it again. God, I repent, I'm sorry, and go do it again.
Yeah.
It's willful sin. Or you just don't care. Like, so, but at the end of the day, God knows your heart. God knows your heart. He knows if you're really trying, and he knows when you're, full of crap and just trying to play him. And you can't play God because he knows our thoughts. He knows our mind. He knows our thoughts. He knows our hearts, our motives. Nothing is hidden from him.
You got to be tired of your own shit to know whenever you're full of crap. To know when you're being full of crap.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people aren't aware that they're full of shit.
But when they're
self-aware, then they know.
That's interesting that you say that people don't know. I feel like we all, because think about it, we all got that small little voice. We all got a conscience that tells us, we all, that voice that says, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yes.
You know it. We all have that voice. And I believe that voice is God telling you, trying to get you on the right path. That conscience, that gut that's saying, you're not doing it. But some people, they choose to ignore that voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like if the longer you don't listen to that voice, the more it's going to hurt you in the end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel attacked. No, I'm kidding.
So,
I'm kidding. That was a good one. That was a good point.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, am I off or?
No, you're not off at all. Whenever I hear that little voice telling me not to do something, I'm like, man, I want to do it. Should I do it this one time? And I'll do it the one time. I'm like,
one time for the one time.
It's this flesh, man. This flesh is weak, man. Our flesh, like,
I know.
We want what we want in this world, and it's a fallen world. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So.
That is true.
It's just can you stay strong? Can you stay on that righteous path and fulfill the purpose that God has for you?
And you definitely have to keep the right people around you so you can stay on that path.
Yes.
Because if you have one person, it's so easy to get sidetracked.
You gotta hold them accountable. Like if you really fuck with them and you really love them and respect them and there for them, you gotta hold them accountable.
Absolutely. You got to know your limitations and how strong you really are. You can't just be around anybody. I agree with that.
It is all about self-discipline.
Yeah,
if you could discipline yourself, nobody cannot tell you shit.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. That's real. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we that was deep. I like that. I like that though. We need that though.
I spit on the mic. I'm sorry. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up because we got some more shit to do.
Yes. But we appreciate you for coming out. It was a vibe.
Appreciate it.
Got to talk to you a lot more about your acting, where you want to go, your goals.
We got to know you on a deeper level.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's okay to cry.
Yes. Y'all heard it from
we're
him.
A safe place.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow on Instagram, Swag Without a Tag. And don't forget to go on Instagram at Lola, what is it?
Lola, yes. Lola.4. Oh, it's not there. Lola.forever. Link is in bio. Let me be the next cover girl for Ink Magazine.
Yes, man. She's trying to do big things.
Hell yeah. Sad Bitches Club.
Yeah.
Sad Bad Bitches Club.
We will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Speaking money to the poor like speaking Siamese. I shed light up on these roaches when they hide from me. All that talking on the net but wanna ride with me. Haters change up their tone when they aside of me. Too legit to quit. I'm done playing when I say so. Tattooed on my chest, never quit just cause they say so. 100 times